Here we are.
Yes.
I was telling CJ, as long as I've had this standing desk, and I've been doing the pod at the standing desk for probably 5 years, I've never stood at it. I have like a high stool chair, and because my back was bothering me, I'm standing at it, and I like it better. I stand during the radio show, and now I like standing during the podcast.
Yeah, I like to mix it up.
Yeah.
Sometimes good to stand for a little stint here and there when I was in like writers' rooms that were on Zoom. It's just good to mix it up.
Yeah.
But I think a full stand is not for me, but an occasional.
I find myself, I can hear, like sometimes during the end of the radio show, I'll sit and I can hear myself like my entire delivery changes when I'm sitting down. Like I sort of relax a little bit and it gets slower.
Do you think you sound better standing up? Or
I do. Well, you just the way your diaphragm, you sound better standing up. You notice most music DJs will stand up because they only have to do it for a minute. It's a little harder for 4 hours, but
yeah.
I got my second screen here to monitor the
baseball.
A little bit baseball, but the pickup I have to make for fantasy basketball tonight. I'm just waiting for some announcement. It's intense. The playoffs of fantasy basketball are always so insane because like guys are resting, guys are not playing back to backs. It's me versus legs, man.
Oh wow!
It's
I hope legs wins. There was no offense.
On Zach Berman's podcast, he told the whole story of me and him going against each other. He told it right. His team played better, but I saved my ad drops till the end.
You're clutch. You have a clutch gene.
I don't think I
well, it sounds like you have the clutch gene.
I've had to cut so many guys I love because they haven't been playing. I'm basically playing because Spike, I'm the 1 seed.
Okay.
So I'm basically playing for the 4-4 tie because I just
because you have a higher seed.
Yeah, so I wins. But his team is just like way more healthy than mine.
Sounds like you're playing not to lose.
A little bit. It's 100% playing scared and just trying to I've been in first place the whole season and my team is just like being decimated more and more. I don't even recognize these guys anymore.
I'm playing fantasy baseball for the first time in like 30 years. I didn't realize 4 days into the season, like when I played fantasy baseball, you set your lineup for the week, but we have to set every day, which I didn't know, like 4 or 5 days into the season.
On most apps, you can do a
one or the other.
Set all play. So
yes, I can set in advance. I didn't know that. I'm doing ESPN. So, all right, let's do a podcast not about any of that stuff. But I don't know. Give us a week or two. You never know what'll happen. The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is presented by Draftkings Sportsbook. Sign up for Draftkings Sportsbook by using promo code RTRS, and brought to you by MortgageCS. Become a MortgageCS Ricky VIP by going to mortgagecs.com/Ricky. Briggs Auction, the official auction of the Ricky at briggsauction.com, and Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka, the official sponsor of the Corner 3 newsletter with Zoe. Subscribe at rightstoRickySanchez.com/newsletter. On the show today, Joel Embiid getting another surgery. Will it work? Well, who knows? We'll talk about that. The lottery party pre-sale goes on Thursday. We have a bunch of questions about how we handle the lottery and the lottery party. Sixers lose to the Knicks, and they are solidly in the 5th spot, but close on the heels of the New Orleans Pelicans for the 4th spot in the tanking rankings. Very exciting. That is on the show today. I did mention Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka, and before we came on the show today was mentioned, Mike and I briefly talked about the Phils going on right now. Last I checked, they're still up 2-0, but I was at the home opener the other day, and I had never seen these before. Surfside tall boys, like giant Surfsides they have at the stadium. Ooh. Like giant ones. Yeah, it's wild. I hadn't seen that before. Everybody has a Surfside at Citizens Bank Park because everybody knows what the fucking deal is. It's the best, whichever variety you like. Surfside iced tea and vodka, lemonade iced tea and vodka, green tea and vodka, raspberry tea and vodka. And no matter which one you're drinking, it's only 3 grams of sugar. It's only 100 calories. Well, not for the tall boy, but for the regular one. And it's just lightly sweet, and it doesn't have any bubbles because iced tea should not have any bubbles. You can get it wherever you get your booze. In PA now, you can get it like anywhere. Used to just be liquor stores, but now beer distributors. If you get, alcohol, your grocery store, wherever you get your canned cocktails, you can get it there. You could also go to statesidevodka.com. And Sunday, I will be doing the pod from the kennel. That's right. I am sleeping over Saturday night in a kennel with a dog at St. Hubert's Animal Welfare Center up here in New Jersey to raise money. It is my wife's last event working at this shelter, and is where we got our very dear Scotchy from. And my goal originally was to raise $1,000, then $5,000. Now my goal is to raise $10,000 by the end of the weekend. So we will put the link in. We're at 4,300 or something like that. Put the link in the show notes. But I am spending one full day with the dog, sleeping in the kennel with the dog at the shelter. I still don't know which fucking dog it is. My wife has not decided yet. And I was like, hey, shouldn't you know the dog a little well before you lock your husband in the kennel with the dog? And she said, don't worry, I'll pick a nice one. So, but Sunday when we do the pod Sunday morning, I will be in the kennel with the dog. So whatever you can donate would be appreciated. Without any further ado, Amos and the chef.
We were right, y'all. We were right. Even when it went wrong, we were right. We was right, y'all. We were right. So say the name. Say the name. We were right, y'all. We were right. Even when it went wrong, we were right. We were right, y'all. We were right. So say the name. Say the name. Say the name.
Welcome to the Rights Ricky Sanchez podcast. I'm Spike Geskin, along with a guy who has no time to worry about the Sixers playoffs because he's got his fantasy playoffs. That is one Mike Levin.
Won a lot more games.
Yep. Well, good thing. Good thing we don't have to worry about any Sixers playoffs.
Got to focus.
Yes. The lottery party pre-sale starts on 10 a.m. on Thursday. The link is in the show notes. We'll get to the lottery party with Live Ricky Six and Gershon Yabusele. If you're going to do pre-sale, though, and you're listening before it, the password is August, May 12th at Franklin Music Hall, formerly the Electric Factory. So top Sixers news, we had waited. How long has it been since they shut Embiid down? 7 weeks? 6 weeks? Something like that? It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
6 weeks.
Per Sham Sharania of ESPN, Philadelphia 76er star Joel Embiid will undergo arthroscopic surgery on his left knee next week, a team official tells ESPN. Embiid was ruled out for the season, late February, as he and the 76ers met with doctors to determine the best treatment to alleviate his knee issues. Embiid will be reevaluated in 6 weeks after surgery and is expected to make a full recovery, sources said.
Full recovery? That sounds great.
Yeah. It will mark Embiid's second
that's great
surgery.
news. Why don't you blow past that?
Yeah, well. The verbiage here that Shams is using is, I don't know if it is deliberately confusing. He will make a recovery from this procedure, but you should not take that to mean that he will make a full recovery from his knee issues with this procedure. So the wound will heal on his knee.
What if he said he's not expected to make any recovery whatsoever? It's going to stay wide open. The wound is going to be festering for the rest of his life.
Look, here is my educated read on this.
Educate me, baby.
Well, you don't normally go from, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to break your hips. We're going to hope it works. You're going to heal up for a year. To, we'll scope it. We'll see how it looks in 6 weeks. So my guess is, well, hold on. Let me just get this out. Okay. My guess is they said, we have experimental things that are not too invasive. We have experimental things that are very invasive. We don't think any of them are going to have a very high success rate. We could just go in there and clean it up, and you could rest it, and we could try this all again next year. And it seems like that final thing is what they decided. I just want to be clear to everybody that if it was just a scope and a 6-week recovery to fix whatever was wrong, they would have done it 3 months ago or 4 months ago. So I think this is we'll clean it up. We'll hope that does something, and fingers crossed. But I don't think anybody should have the read on this that like, oh, they found, this is actually what's going to fix it. So, well, that's my read.
I haven't talked to anybody since this news came out, but it seems like Joel was just like, hey, the thing we did last year didn't work. And we keep trying to do all these like little like injections and stuff to reduce swelling. And that doesn't work. And so I think we just need to go back in there and like fix it, because otherwise like I just play for a while but
they're not going in and
at a certain point. Aren't they going in there and doing something? They're going in
there.
Well,
they're just getting. I'm sure they will clean out whatever loose bodies are in there, and maybe
get those loose bodies out of there. It seems like a big deal.
I'm sure that there will be like, maybe they'll go in and they'll go, there's a little piece of meniscus we could have gotten last time, but that's all this is. It's not it's like it's putting a Band-Aid on an axe wound. I mean, to me, this is a minor surgery. This is surgery that players have in the middle of the season and they come back from.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a repair.
But the confusion was that that the surgery that they did last time didn't work. The confusion was that like, usually there would not be this much swelling. The body would get used to it. There would not keep coming. Swelling would not just keep coming up over and over the course of a season where you can't really play or be yourself. So if I'm Joel, I'm sure he's talked to 1,000 doctors about this.
Sure.
Maybe it is like there's some loose body, which I hate loose bodies. I like tight ones.
Yeah.
Floating around in there, bumping into stuff. And that is the thing that keeps causing it to go whatever. But like,
don't you think the fact that they're so ambiguous about what kind of arthroscopic surgery it is leads you to believe that this is a minor procedure? Like the Sixers always contended. First of all, I don't know anything about anything, so them being ambiguous, I'm not even learned enough to sort of identify ambiguity. Right.
But the Sixers have been adamant this whole time that like there is really no surgery that he can do. Like,
yes.
He should be just playing through it, and the pain will eventually go away, and the swelling will stop as the body gets used to it. And all season long, he was still in pain. Swelling would come. He wasn't his normal self. So I guess to me, it's like they're being ambiguous because they don't know what's wrong. Like, nobody knows what's wrong. And so they're going in there to be like, let's take a look. Let's open up the thing, see if like we can find something in there.
Here is, one of the orthopedic surgeons that talks about sports injuries on Twitter, Brian Sutterer, who has talked about Embiid a lot. And I think you could say, at least retroactively, if you look at what happened and what he said, he's been on the money a few times. I just saw that Mike O'Connor tagged this tweet in. He tagged Sharania's tweet and put, well, it's Groundhog Day. He put a GIF. He said, wild prediction, this won't work. And somebody responds to him, want to at least elaborate on this. And he said, how many arthroscopic surgeries have we been told will be a complete success for Embiid, yet issues keep persisting? The quick timeline suggests they will be doing more of a cleanup debridement, which rarely fixes things long-term. Short-term benefit, yes, but to act like this is going to turn his career around health-wise is being disingenuous. So, I mean, like, maybe it does, I don't know. Maybe it makes, I think there's a possibility that them finally settling on something at least makes him commit to whatever the recovery plan is. I do get I guess my gut reading what they were trying to do before is that he wasn't thrilled with the keep playing on it and it'll get better plan. But this is the...
What would you have rather they do?
Well, I don't think it's ever going to work. I mean, he can do whatever he wants to do. I think his size and his knee and his history and all of those things lead to if it was gonna work, it would work. I maybe there's a 15% chance or a 20% chance he's able to get 2 like reasonably productive years out of it. But like I just don't think it's gonna work. I think his knee is probably shot, and his size and his history make it even more difficult. And I think that's probably it. I'm not saying this is a bad thing to do, but I'm saying that this is not the surgery or whatever. I don't believe. I can't.
Because the Sixers were saying there isn't a surgery.
Well, but there isn't.
Right. So
you could do that. My guess is you could do this surgery to any player. You could go into any player in the NBA's knee and say,
sure,
there's enough stuff to clean up in here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yes, it's not.
This is just like, if all he needed was a scope, this would have been easy to identify.
No, but they were struggling the entire season to figure out like what the issue, what is causing the swelling, why does it keep swelling? So
yes, because his body.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying like they don't know what's going on. So like, what do we? If there isn't a surgery and there isn't this, it's like, yeah, they're just like kind of dumbfounded. And now that it's the off season and
they're
all
just trying
like,
stuff.
gone, they're trying stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And Mike, worth saying, since you brought up Michael Connor, he also posted. In April 2013, Russell Westbrook tore his meniscus, had the repair surgery, not the meniscectomy the way Embiid did.
Twice.
But had continued swelling and pain for months afterwards that caused him to miss time. Had 2 arthroscopic surgeries in October and December, and was back on the floor in February, and has obviously been,
He was 23.
Totally.
Yeah.
But if you're different players, different timelines, but this like...
He was 23 and not 7'1". And 275 pounds. So
for sure. Yeah. I mean, there's no other thing to do. Like there's just nothing else to do. It's like, hey, I hope the swelling stops. I hope his body gets used to the reality. He was scoring 50 points in a playoff game a year ago. So hopefully, it's shitty to say this. It's not like you're going like, okay, I wish the coaching staff would coach defense differently because then they would be able to, or I wish Embiid would become a better passer and get out of double teams quicker because then this or that could happen. But it's just like, I hope the doctors identify what is wrong and are successful in their taking out what is bad or fixing what is wrong. Like there's nothing to say really, but
yeah, I think so. And there's the I think last thing that should be said is it's possible that there's like sometimes it gets to a point where the doctors can't do anything. Yeah. And hopefully whatever they try and him,
the thing that I hold out hope for, and obviously your concerns that you're pointing out that he's 7'2" and almost 300 pounds and now on the other side of 30 is that like he was playing in a playoff game and scoring 50 points against the Knicks less than a year ago. Mm-hmm. And so it's been a bad year. It's been a bad, frustrating, feels like forever year. And like when there are centers that that usually don't like succeed in recovery from these kinds of injuries, then you could think of Bynum obviously is the one that you can pull to quickest. Greg Oden, like there's a million of those kinds of big centers that just have a tough time ever recovering from this. But my hope is that Joel also wasn't supposed to play at all when he missed the first 2 seasons of his career with injuries, and he came out and still did this thing. He's older now, but I don't know. Maybe I still have my fingers crossed. It's easy to say it's over because it probably is, but I still have my fingers crossed. I'm not going to like write it off entirely because, they're certainly trying everything they can.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm hopeful. It's just not
nobody's optimistic.
Not optimistic, right? Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast presented by Draftkings Sportsbook. When you sign up for Draftkings Sportsbook, you got to use promo code RTRS. You have to. Now, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say the last 4 teams are set in the college basketball tournament. I don't know.
The ultimate quad.
The ultimate quad. The 4-wheeler so it's all 1 seeds. Chalky, but fun. Final quad. Florida, Auburn, Houston, Duke. So at DraftKings Sportsbook right now, Duke -5.5 over Houston. Florida -2.5 over Auburn. What do you like, Mike? college basketball guy.
Man, my heart always wants me to say Houston because I love this team. I love the way Kelvin Sampson coaches. There's a ton of motherfuckers on there, but Duke is really, really good. They play hard as hell. They move the ball really well. There's guys cutting left and right. They hit shots. They play physically. They have it everywhere. I think the odds of Houston winning, I think, are less than the odds of Duke winning by like 15. I would love to be wrong.
Oh, wow.
But,
okay.
Yeah. So I would probably say Duke. And then, yeah, I mean,
Florida minus 2.5 over Auburn.
I think that's a lot of respect for Auburn.
Okay.
Which interests me. They play hard on defense if they can stop the guard play. That Florida's interesting because they just have so many big bodies that they can like get in and out. They have like 4 or 5 rotational front court guys that they just overwhelm you with. I don't know if Janai Broome is going to be fully healthy. I think they're both going to be really fun games. I like that it's interesting. I would probably take Florida and Duke to cover.
And then,
that would be a really...
And then Duke, you would pick Duke.
I don't know. I mean, I would be interested to see what Vegas says is the answer. I would imagine that they have Duke over Florida by maybe like 2.5.
How about Vegas? Why don't I just tell you DraftKings Sportsbook? Oh, you mean in that potential game?
In that potential
game, Duke is plus 100. Duke is even money. Florida is plus 300. Houston is plus 400. Auburn plus 550. Feels like a Duke minus 6. That's 5.5, something like that.
I would try to probably under that. Florida's formidable.
Okay.
And they have a ton of guys that can hit shots. They've been hot. They've been feeling good. I would probably say Duke seems like they've been the best team all year round. They're getting better, but you could say the same thing about Florida. So
okay. Wow.
I want it to be Houston, and I don't think it will be, which is sort of how it always goes for the teams I want to win.
Well, there is Mike's sort of analysis. Look, dude, live betting, DraftKings Sportsbook. You got same game parlays. You got promos they have for every game. You just got to use DraftKings. Bet $5 to get $150 instantly if you use promo code RTRS and it's your first time. Bet the unexpected with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code RTRS. That is code RTRS for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only at DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Got to be 21. See show notes for details. So lottery party pre-sale Thursday, 10 a.m. Password August. Public on sale. If you're like, fuck pre-sales, I'm doing the regular on sale with the general public. That is Friday at 10 a.m. It is May 12th at the Franklin Music Hall, formerly the Electric Factory. It is lottery party and then live Ricky 6 with Gershon Yabusele. There's regular GA ticket. There's VIP ticket. VIP ticket, you get picture with Yabusele, commemorative item, ticket up front, and all of our ticket money goes to Providence Animal Center, Mama T's Community Fridge. So here's what we're looking at for a night, and we're still building it as we speak. 7:30, the lottery explainer with Professor Jack and Mike. So they will get up there with visual aids and explain to you how you should be cheering.
Exciting.
Right? I was thinking, do we give Professor Jack like a big giant thumb to when everything pops up, he could go thumbs up or thumbs down as to whether it's good or not?
Sure, if you have a big giant thumb.
I can get a big giant thumb. I could find one. CJ, look on eBay. We got a big giant ruler. We get a big giant thumb. Then the lottery is at 8. And we're going to get the number 1 pick. So we get Cooper Flagg. It's be fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. And then live Ricky 6 right after the lottery. Gershon Yabusele, our special guest. Of course, I will do a poem. I was talking with AU. We will do a Process Hall of Fame induction. There will not be a vote this time. It will be top down. A fascist Process Hall of Fame induction, and we just say who's getting inducted. And then...
We got to talk about that, I guess.
What's that?
We got to talk about who's getting inducted.
Yes, and what's getting inducted.
Yeah,
yes.
all of that.
Yeah, we have to. Any other ideas for the live show? I'm working on a couple of special guests. Every time we say there's a special guest or surprise, everybody always goes, Hinky? Can I just get this across? It's never going to be Hinky. It's never going to be Hinky.
But you're saying that you keep asking.
What's that?
You've asked and you keep asking, don't you?
I ask every time.
So you're saying to the fans, stop asking. It's going to be Inky. It's never going to be Inky. And then you're going, hey Sam, we'd love to have you.
Well, here can I probably shouldn't even be talking about this because this will guarantee it'll never happen. But CJ, is Mike's internet freezing up?
Oh damn.
Yeah, your internet.
I got too many fantasy basketball tabs up.
Oh, I'm gonna murder you. You're doing how many fantasy basketball tabs do you have?
I'm monitoring several things. All right, I'll cut out the Phillies.
What the fuck are you doing?
Phillies are gone.
Okay.
They're gone.
All right. Okay. You're still, I almost want you to, he's getting a little bit better. I can't believe we're doing this. We're a professional podcast. It's like I'm watching a kung fu movie. Your voice isn't. Oh, there you go.
Pretty good.
Now you're getting better. It was all the streaming. Cool. It's unbelievable. Okay. What were we even talking about?
Sam.
Oh, Hinkie. Well, here's my thing is I don't want there to be one of these, and then all of a sudden I find out afterwards. It's like Hinkie was in town. He didn't even know what was happening. He totally would have done it. So
sure.
Do you know what I'm saying?
So
anyway,
it's the same thing. It's the same thing for the fans guessing. It's like I don't want it to be Hinkie, and I don't. It's the one time I don't guess.
But I don't want it to be like a downer if like they think it's Hinkie and I'm like it's KOC. You know what I'm saying? Like
that would be a downer.
Yeah. So
and
just
I think Kevin knows that.
Yeah. So just always assume it's not Hinkie. Working on special guests. It'll be a great live Ricky. I think Yabusele is going to be awesome, to be honest with you. He seems like a sweet guy who really seems to have enjoyed Philadelphia. Yeah. And every player who has been up there, and Brett, I think the same thing, Brett Brown, has been taken aback by how much everybody loves them. So he's probably never been cheered like this, like since like college or something. Was he a college player or he's an international player? Nope. Probably hasn't been cheered like this, in a while would be my guess. So I think he will be good as well.
He's going to be good.
Yeah. Some questions about the lottery and the lottery party we got from, so get your tickets Thursday and Friday. Again, pre-sale Thursday, 10 a.m., password August, and then Friday, general on sale, 10 a.m. From Patrick, writes streakysanchez@gmail.com. Hello, Norman. If you could click a button to guarantee you would get the number 6 pick, would you do it? If not, would you do it for the 5 pick? So would you take your odds as they are right now, or just click a button and get the 6 pick?
That's interesting.
Yep. I would not.
No, I mean the upside of getting 1 and probably 2 is too high at this stage.
We're in a desperate situation.
I think so. I think if Joel had just missed the season, and then you could go like, all right, we just need to get something out of this bad season.
Yes.
And like having like a high upside role player type that could fit right in would be perfect. Then maybe you go for it. But if Joel is done and it's Maxey and McCain, and to a lesser extent, Quentin Grimes being the next generation, then that's not enough.
What number would it have to be for you to lock it in?
2. Yeah.
You wouldn't even lock it in for 3?
No, because 3 to 6 is really, right now, interchangeable based on fit or need or preference, really. There's not like a consensus situation happening. Yeah. I'm not so high on Ace Bailey that I think he's like worlds better than VJ Edgecombe. Or if you go like, oh, we really believe in this, and like Malawach is just the perfect center to come in and just be the guy when Joel's not there.
After the guy, yep.
Yeah. So it's just there's a lot of interesting players. It's a fun draft, but after the top 2, there's gonna be people that love Ace Bailey and think like the package is just so tantalizing. He's kind of like Michael Porter Jr. with like a ton more on ball juice. Mm-hmm. A ton more like get to the rim stuff. Basically, Michael Porter Jr. if he didn't have all the back issues that he has. And Edgecombe is like a classic 2-guard type, but didn't put up stellar numbers at college. So, and then it's really who who your preferences are. So I'd say I'm a little lower on the like. They need to get one, but there's not a guy in the 3 to 6 area that I'm like, oh man, that is my guy right there. Changes everything in the way that Cooper Flagg is, and it's different if it's Dylan Harper.
We're going to get the number 1 pick. I think everybody should stop worrying about it.
Yeah. I will say I don't think that the thing we talked about last time, and as the Sixers are only merely 1.5 games behind the Pelicans.
Yep.
1.5, but the half is in the wrong direction. You would rather them have one more win rather than one fewer loss.
Right.
They unfortunately have two more wins. So New Orleans is going to have to win 2 games to tie it.
Are you streaming again?
No.
Okay.
I'm right here. Okay. I'm right here, babe.
All right. Okay. Keep going.
Sorry, I lost it.
You said we're only a game and a half behind the Pelicans. You'd rather have it be a game in the win column than a game in the loss column.
I sort of paused. I sort of diverted my point to say that thing.
Okay.
The thing I wanted to say last episode when we talked about the Riggett rankings.
Yes.
I don't think that the league and the people that believe in Cooper Flagg as a nearly NBA saving type of player, prospect, personality, face of the league type guy, I don't think they're going to let him come to Philadelphia because like Joel and Maxey are already here. Like if he goes to Utah or...
So you're putting us as a Riggett as 0 now.
No, I'm just saying it's a factor. Okay. Like I think they're going to want Cooper Flagg to go to a place.
Harris is going to have to pay the VIG. Harris is just going to have to pay $1.5 billion. Which
he can afford, and the VIG is the cost of exactly one New Jersey Devils franchise. But like going to, Brooklyn or DC or Utah or even like Chicago would make more sense to be like there's not a guy there already that you would say is like the face of the franchise.
Okay, so you would lock in 2, but not locking in any other one. I agree with you. We're getting one anyway. This came from John, writes to RickySanchez@gmail.com. Well, the first part of his question is ridiculous. Knowing what we know now, would you rather have OG Anunoby or Paul George? I'd rather have OG Anunoby, right? Like that's pretty...
certainly.
Yeah.
Guess. Sure.
Yes.
Fine.
No podcast,
Sure. Definitely that.
Yeah.
But OG missed a bunch of time this year too, didn't he?
Last year. I don't think he missed a bunch of time this year.
Oh, you're right. He played last year. He played 69 games this year.
Yeah. In some ways, this lottery party is life and death for the process. If they do not win the lottery, this is the exact moment it ended. If they win the lottery, trust the process. In similar fashion, people should show up to the lottery party in their mood. They either wear white, like Michael Rubin, or black, like the process is dead. Everyone wear black at the 2016 lottery party.
Really?
With Hinkie. Yeah, where a lot of people wore black. All the T-shirts.
Because they had just fired Hinkie.
Rice Ricky Sanchez podcast brought to you by MortgageCS. Become a MortgageCS VIP by going to mortgagecs.com/Ricky. I did that. MortgageCS helped me close on my house last week in South Jersey. You may say, Spike, your house looks just like your old house. Well, I don't live there yet because I've made the insane mistake of trying to get 800 things done in the house before we move in. That's not MortgageCS's fault. That's my fault.
You don't have a fantasy basketball championship to win, though.
I do not. I do not have that to win. MortgageCS made the process, their portion of the process of buying the home, like aces. You find out a bunch of things. First of all, their communication is, as I said. I have said it all before based on what they said and based on what Ricky, the listener, said to me, but I got to experience it this time. Their communication is, as you said, it is thoughtful, basically immediate. Every email is written like an adult, and if you've ever dealt with a mortgage broker, you'd realize most of them write very short emails without any periods, doesn't answer all your questions. MortgageCS, Alec or Ben, always on the phone anytime I needed them.
Tons of periods in their emails.
Tons of periods in their emails, and their entire team, tons of periods in the emails. That was the first thing. The other thing I learned is good on advice. Hey, should you buy this rate down? Shouldn't you buy it down? Here's what might happen. Here's what won't happen. What does this mean? What does that mean? They were great on all that stuff. And I would say the other thing is that other realtors trust them. Realtors trust them. So when you're going to put your bid in on a house, the realtor's looking at the bids, the selling realtor, and is like, oh, like, I trust this company. I like working with them. It helps when they're advising their sellers, and everybody feels good about MortgageCS. The process was incredible. This is the third house I've bought. I don't have 3 houses at once, but the third time I bought a house. This experience of MortgageCS compared to any other mortgage broker, nothing like it. Like I'm working with a completely different thing. It's like when you get to sit in first class and you realize what coach was like, that is what this is like. You can call or text Ben at any time to get in touch with him. He is the CEO of MortgageCS, 267-391-7425. 267-391-7425. Or go to mortgagecs.com/Ricky. Set up a consultation that way. If you're going to buy a house anytime in 2025, I would just start the process now. You get all your paperwork in, be ready to be pre-qualified, know what to look for. Just incredible. If you don't believe me, I don't know what to tell you. You can go to Google and look at the reviews there. They're all like what I say. This advertisement is not a commitment to lend or extend credit. MortgageCS is an equal housing opportunity mortgage broker. All loans are subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions may apply. Company NMLS 1464766. Visit mortgagecs.com/Ricky for more information.
Yeah.
All right. This from Jack. Spike Mike CJ Darrell Coven. Hello. Like the rest of us, I have been fantasizing about Cooper Flagg rescuing us from this Sixers nightmare. Not winning the lottery can simply not be tolerated. Without getting too dark, we must collectively threaten to do something if the Sixers don't get number 1, thus forcing Dave Silver's hands. For example, I vow to litter every day for the rest of my life if the Sixers don't win the lottery.
Wow.
Or perhaps the Ricky Nation should commit to never washing their hands after using the bathroom ever again if we don't win. Is there any ideas that you could help come up with to get the job done? This reminds me on the radio show at one point on WIP, we were talking about Juan Soto before he'd signed with the Mets and seeing what people would promise to do. And one guy said, if they don't sign Soto, I'm going to start smoking again. I'm going to smoke so much. And I thought, so Mike, is there anything you could promise to maybe do, not endanger anyone, but may convince Silver to rig it for us?
Oh man.
Yeah.
This would be really generous of me. I would start calling him by his given name.
Adam?
I think we'd call him Adam.
Oh, so you're doing the positive reinforcement type thing. Okay.
I think it's a bribe.
Yeah, we could do it that way.
A bribe?
Yeah, we could do it that way.
What? Okay, so if they don't win, so let's do the negative also. If they don't win, what would I start doing? I guess I would probably watch Sixers games with my Fitbit on and see how high I could get it. See if I could give myself a heart attack from this team. Just go for it.
That is a good one. I really like that one.
And
so he'd be responsible for your death.
Right, and instead of the vibration that like happens when it's like, hey, your heart's a little too fast there, your heart rate, maybe take a breath or two. I'm going to have the heart rate. It's almost like Speed, where the movie Speed, where if it gets too low, then it starts to beep and I have to rev it back up.
You rev it back up.
Yeah. So, do you want that on your conscience? Dave?
How about this, Dave? If you don't do it, I'm going to spray paint the C word everywhere.
Jesus. That's bad. That's bad for you?
Well, it's bad for everyone.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? It's bad for everyone. How about for me? How about something specifically for me?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I'm getting older.
That's going to happen regardless.
Well, I'm saying, what could I do that is bad for my heart health? I'm never going to get my prostate checked.
Wow.
Yeah.
Or I think you could rip out your dildo hip and shove it up your ass.
I'm gonna rip out my hip replacement. I'm gonna shove it up my own ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want that in your conscience, Dave?
Go on, Dave. 2 more, because I thought these questions were very good. This is from Sheil. Love the discussion you created about odds of the NBA rigging the lottery for each team and then just deciding Josh Harris needs to pay or find a way to rig the lottery for the Sixers. But is it possible he would just do the opposite? Josh Harris isn't exactly a friend of the pod. Given the public knowledge of the upcoming lottery party, do you think Josh Harris would take a shot at the Ricky by rigging the lottery to make the Sixers lose lose the pick and thus attempt to ruin our party. Owners are rich, live in a different city than us, and a different reality status and perception. Live in a different reality than us, and in that reality, status and perception mean a lot more. Well, Harris, a known enemy of the process, along with David Silver, secretly rigged the lottery against us.
Wow. I'd respect the level of spite.
100%.
But I think that Josh likes us.
By the way, Tom in the chat is going to start jaywalking if they don't rig it for us.
I think that Josh Harris likes the podcast. That's my pitch. I think so. I think he takes it in good-natured spirit. And I think that if he didn't like the podcast, we would know about it and hear about it more. And probably would not have been able to ring the bell.
Did we ever talk about... I don't even think I can hint at it on the pod.
Probably can't.
Yeah.
But
all right, we'll talk about it afterwards.
No, I'm going to go the other way. And I think that he's so insulated from like criticism. There's the kind of rich guy that's like, obviously reading every single thing about themselves and like arguing with random people online and like getting their brains rotted by whatever social media app they use. And that they just can't get over it that somebody doesn't like them. And then I think there's a rich guy that's just like so checked out from that. And they're just like on a boat and they're like, what's going on? Like, oh, that guy hates me. Like, that's kind of fun. I think that I'm hoping that Josh is that guy.
Yeah.
Not that I think he's a good guy, but I just think he's the version that's not like so engaged on the internet.
Elliot told me, Elliot Shore Park said, I just met Josh Harris at the owners' meetings for the NFL. He was like,
oh, yeah, of course.
He said, sorry to report, he had a very firm handshake.
Well, I'm sure he went to handshake class after that.
Afterwards, yeah. Because when I shook his hand at the Super Bowl in 2018, it was sort of dead fishy. Now,
Wow.
I don't know if that is about me, though. That might have been about me and not about, Josh Harris.
Yeah, you think so do you think that's based on what happened with Joe Buck and Troy Aikman in the booth, or do you think that was based on I'm a football owner now, I'm shaking football guy hands, I got to
step it up. Yeah. It might be a little of both, actually.
Could be.
Sheil also asks, singing is actually healthy for you mentally. Do any of you sing if you're not good at it? And if so, when and where? Shower, car, by yourself, or do you do karaoke? Love the pod.
Oh, I'm singing all the time.
I sing all the time, constantly. We sing all our return music. I'm sure it annoys listeners on the radio show. Sing. So this final email about the lottery addresses something that we talked about 2 pods ago. And I asked you, if the Sixers got number 2 and the Brooklyn Nets got number 1, would you trade Tyrese Maxey and number 2 for number 1 for Cooper Flag? And we both agreed that we would do it. So we got this email from...
I agreed?
Yes, you did. CJ, can you confirm?
Okay.
CJ confirms.
I believe so, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I was probably pretty pained, though, when I said it.
Oh, just Jesus Christ. I mean, just stick to your guns here. Good evening, Spike, Mike, and CJ. Spike and Mike, are you both out of your fucking minds?
Oh, here we go.
I asked this because on a recent episode, the two of you discussed the idea of the Sixers landing the second pick in the lottery, the Nets landing the top pick, and conceptually trading the number 2 overall pick in Tyrese Maxey for Cooper Flag. I love Flag. I think he's far and away the top player in this draft. I'm a Duke fan, for fuck's sake. However, to trade Maxey and the number 2 pick for Flag, I was certain that Spike had been abusing expired Surfside products, and Mike must have still been nursing a massive Saki headache. Maxey is already an all-star, just 24 years of age, not a Fugazi, Andrew Wiggins-ass all-star or Fred Van Vliet-ass all-star or Andre Iguodala-ass all-star, but a bona fide perennial candidate who has the potential for multiple more. To trade Maxey, a certified top 30 player in the NBA, for a number 1 overall pick, who, while the consensus top prospect draws concerns about his ability as a truly dominant top option, is fine enough if you truly believe in that prospect's potential and don't believe in your own timeline. But to trade a top 30 player plus the number 2 pick in the draft for that prospect is ass. It's just ass. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's hearing it back to me. It is. It pains me to think about it. I think the step from Cooper Flag to Dylan Harper is real, but it's certainly less than the one from 2 to 3. You just sort of would Yeah. I don't know, guys. I have no opinions anymore. This season's like, I'm ready for August. I'm ready for just let me out of my misery. I don't want to do it. I'd rather just get one and not have to do it. I could feel the Sixers not wanting to do that at all. Do I think that they would do it? Probably not, just because of how useful Maxey is to just not only the team, but also just the franchise and the perception of them. Cooper Flag is really, really good and would fit perfectly on this team. Maxey, Grimes, PG, Flag, Embiid in a world where everybody's healthy is crazy good. The alternative is you're sort of overloaded with ball dominant guards, and you're going to have to move one of them eventually anyway. So I don't know. The alternative of not knowing what you'd get for that is interesting. Maybe you could get something very useful, or maybe somebody knows that you have to trade them, and then you're not getting somebody as good as Cooper Flag. So I could see both. It pains me to hear about it and think about it, but I could see the version. So I think I'm pretty close to on the fence.
I understand it, but like, here's what you have to think about is like, if you don't do it, I know this sounds reductive. If you don't do it, then you don't have Cooper Flag. And then where are you? Like, Cooper Flag has the ability to be a top 10 player, right? You would say?
Yeah.
Tyrese Maxey doesn't.
Yeah.
That it ends there for me. And I know this makes everybody think that I don't like Tyrese Maxey. I do. I just think that the value of a shortish guard who is not an outstanding passer or playmaker is like, it is really good as a complement to another thing, but as its own thing, which is what I am thinking about in the future, as its own thing is not like, who's already, by the way, on a max contract.
So the alternative, I think Dylan Harper also has the potential to be a James Harden style type of player. It's easy to say that because they kind of look like similar body types, like big, thick guard, left-handed, can get to the rim at will, and he has really nice balance and everything. If you told me that you could trade Maxey for who's an example of someone you could get Maxey for that's more of a 4 or a 5?
In the NBA currently.
Jaren Jackson, I think Memphis probably wouldn't do that. But no, like Memphis somebody like that, some other like youngish top 30 player.
Could you get the kid from the Raptors?
Scotty Barnes?
Yes.
Probably not.
You could not get Scotty Barnes.
They probably don't do it, no, because they just paid quickly. I doubt that they would trade someone of value, but something like that.
Like that. For
Maxey. Then you could have McCain, Harper, and that player. I think you're still maybe topping out at a, honestly, Memphis style, really good, but still missing that number one. Cooper Flag could be that guy. Maybe Dylan Harper could be too, though. It's just less possible than Flag. Just becoming, somewhere between Blake Griffin and Anthony Davis.
Yeah, so that's why. It's not I don't say it as a statement against Maxey at all. It's just like the continued belief in. Now, if you just want to have if you want to make your best shot at a championship, I think you make the trade. If you just want a fun team to root for and hopefully everything works out, then do it the way you want to do it.
It'd be an interesting place to get to.
Yeah. The Rice to Ricky Sanchez podcast brought to you by Briggs Auction, briggsauction.com. Briggs Auction, the official auction of the Ricky. I am moving, as I've mentioned a bazillion times, but you're moving. Sometimes you got to fill out the rooms in your house, whether that is with artwork, whether that is with furniture, whether that is with accoutrements, maybe a rug fucking here or there. And Briggs Auction every single week has another auction full of this stuff. A lot starting at as low as $1. Collectibles, jewelry, as I mentioned, furniture, antique furniture, cool stuff, cool artwork you're not going to see anywhere else. You can download the Briggs Auction app in the App Store or Google Play. It's time now for the CJ Briggs Auction item of the week.
Spike, I hope you don't need some new chairs because these are sick and I want them.
Oh,
Don't want anyone else to bid on them.
We have a new kitchen island.
They're very springy. I didn't know these chairs existed, but I'm just thinking about it now, like how activated your core's got to be sitting on these.
Yes.
How much springing are you doing when you're sitting down?
Dude, imagine what your abs are going to look like after sitting on these things.
Wow. So you're looking less for comfort and more of a sort of workout.
Abs, yeah.
And it's two of them. So black and red for the audio listeners. It's these chairs that have like a springing top that you could kind of lean in any direction. Mm-hmm. Very nice. When I saw these originally, they were going for 25.
Okay.
And I bid, and now it's up to 110. So probably getting outbidded.
You're still the top bid here.
I bid to 110 to get to the high bid. Originally when I saw it was 25, and then I just, you get.
This is so brave. This is like begging somebody to outbid you. Tell you how good the item is.
I lose everything no matter what. And I've tried different tactics to
go in late.
Yeah, it doesn't work. So I'm just putting it all out there. I like these chairs. They're cool.
I sent CJ a watch. I got outbid on a watch. It was such a cool watch in the last one, and I had instant auction regret when I didn't go higher. I should have gone higher. I saw it was a watch. I saw this watch other place for like $1,500. And I cheaped out at $400 and I lost it. But I have won stuff at Briggs Auction. It is such a thrill to win an online auction. Oh my God, it's the best. If you win something, easy pickup, open pickup on Saturdays. They don't ship, but they can work with you on a shipper. If you have a bunch of stuff to sell, maybe chairs that look like springs, maybe cool watches, info@briggsauction.com. Send them an email, and they are the only place you can do it. Briggs Auction, the official auction of the Ricky.
So here's, just to close out the loop of that, because I was looking while you're doing the ad, I was looking at some possibilities.
Okay.
And so the numbers of say you get the number 2 pick, and then you draft Dylan Harper. So the alternative of going number 2 and Maxey for flag would be draft Dylan Harper and trade Maxey and just go, trade Paul George for whatever you can get for him.
Right.
Hold on to Embiid and just like ride it out, see if he gets healthy, and then trade him or something, whatever. And then you build around McCain, Harper, and whatever you get for Maxey. So we're talking about who could we get for Maxey? The guys that I'm looking at of like in the world of possibility, maybe Jaylen Brown, probably not.
No.
You go to Orlando and say which of Banchero and Franz do you like less?
No Banchero. That guy, not a winner. No, I'm just putting my thumbs down on Banchero. Not a winner.
I like Banchero. I really like Franz.
Well, Franz is better than Banchero.
Not a great. Franz could have better shot selection. But I think part of it is that Orlando just doesn't have shooting.
No Banchero.
And they're just constantly taking bad ones. But I would, one of those for those guys. That'd be fun. If you get Banchero, then it's another Duke connection with McCain.
That guy's bound to be a loser. I can feel it watching him. I've always felt it.
Yeah. I mean, the lower end is then like Siakam, like that kind of a player.
Yeah, no.
Or you take a swing on Zion.
No.
Probably
absolutely not.
Probably not.
You can't do that. Oh my God, I would have a stroke if after the Embiid thing
I'm just looking. I'm looking
Zion.
at like 3-4 types. Like Karl Towns would have been it before he left Minnesota. Maybe Bam. Maybe Jalen Williams on the Thunder if they decide that they want a faster guard in there and they have enough size with the other guys, but they probably love him, rightfully so. Would you trade Maxey for Jalen Williams?
Probably just for Jalen Williams is how big? Is 6'8", 5? Oh, 6'8". Then yeah. I've been in size a lot lately. Yes, I would probably trade him for Jalen Williams.
Let's talk about that. What is that?
Size?
You've been into size a lot lately.
I just like how big is the guy? Mm-hmm. Like I don't know. I watch these teams. Like you watch the fucking Thunder and the Celtics. You watch these teams, and nobody in the starting lineup is a little guy. There's no little guys. Everybody's big. Even the guards are big.
Yeah.
We got 2 little guys. It fucking doesn't work out a lot when you got tiny guys in the NBA.
Saying
now.
like of the best teams in the league.
Yes.
Too many of those guys
are big.
I mean, Cleveland has 2 small guards.
They do, and they're not going to win anything.
The Knicks have a small guard.
And they're not going to win anything either.
Pacers, smallish guard. And
not going to win anything.
So who are you talking? So of the teams that you think are good, you're talking like what, 2 teams?
Well, I'm just
Celtics
saying.
And Thunder?
I'm just saying, if everybody else on your team was at least 6'6" and between 6'6" or 6'7" and 7 feet, then fine. But like, we have 2 guys that are that size, and I just think you have a lot better chance of mitigating whatever talent difference you have if the players are bigger than if they're smaller. Mm-hmm. Like, I will take a slightly less talented guy if he is bigger in the NBA than smaller, especially if the smaller guy is small.
Sure.
So, like, that's my thing. And I'm just, thinking about the next era here with these 2 guys in our backcourt. And I'm a little worried about having one of those guys being so little. And we have 2 of them. That's all.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Phoenix.
Yes.
Kevin Durant and what for Paul George and McCain?
Oh, they don't have anything to trade.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Not pick wise.
And I
don't want if you can get off of the Paul George and you can keep Maxey, then you can be Maxey Harper.
Oh, we're still getting
that's in a
the
world where we're
pick.
getting the second pick. Yeah.
Then I don't want Kevin Durant.
Okay.
Like,
you've never been a Kevin Durant guy.
Well, no, I think he's a good player, but at some point, a certain point, like, I think he's a good player, but the Brooklyn thing not really working out. Phoenix thing not really working out. The Phoenix team's talented enough to work out, right? If we had a ready-made championship team and we were adding Kevin Durant to it, as the Warriors did, maybe. But at this point, he's 36 years old. Like, seems mopey. I don't know.
Yeah.
Would you trade? You would trade Maxey for Devin Booker?
Yeah. Depends on where we're going. I'd say it would depend.
Okay.
I would say it would depend.
How old's Devin Booker? 27?
I think he's 28 now. We're looking.
You could have had him for a Jahlil Okafor in our.
He's 28. He'll be 29 next season.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's just the Sixers are just in a weird place, man. As far as what direction are we going in? Who are we counting on to be there? They aren't lacking for interesting pieces. I think they're in a better position than the Suns are.
They are, because the Suns don't have any young, interesting pieces. We have,
but because
2.
Yeah, but because, and maybe the pick.
Yeah,
but because of where you're sort of like got 1 or 2 hands tied behind your back with Embiid and PG. It's a very odd place to be in to think about like what the future of the Sixers is like.
I do think there would be a possibility, not a large possibility. If they got the number 1 pick, they would just turn it over. They would do whatever they could to turn it over.
What does that mean?
Embiid, Paul George, gone.
Yeah.
Turn it over.
I could see that being a possibility. I think I could see that.
I don't
being
think it's
like
likely. I just think it's
on a
possible.
whiteboard.
Yeah.
But maybe you trade Paul and just go like, okay, we're getting cheaper. We're getting depthier. But I think that they probably would still go Joel upside.
Well, and Joel, whatever it would cost to get rid of him.
Yeah,
too.
You just sit on him.
Yeah.
He's here anyway. You're paying that anyway. I don't think they're going to be trading first round picks to get off of Joel. I think they would still hold out hope. Like, okay, the team's going to be good. Since Flag's on a rookie contract, the team will be good without him. And then if he comes back, then it's like, holy shit.
Final note from Journey about Zach Lowe to rights to Ricky Sanchez at gmail.com. Hi, Rebel, Scotchy, and Norman. One beer, Zach Lowe. Congratulations, Zach. That is from me, not from Journey. One beer, Zach Lowe, back with his own twice weekly pod for The Ringer, and he's made his return on the Bill Simmons podcast. At the very start of the video, you can barely tell, but he's wearing a black Sixers shirt with a white logo. We know Zach wasn't able to quit the Sixers during this era and has been endlessly fascinated with them and is a friend of the pod. In his return, of course, they did a classic Simmons gimmick, 25 most intriguing NBA playoff guys, which we know did not include any of our guys. Simmons took a couple of shots at PG, but we didn't hear Zach talk about the Sixers at all. Basketball question. What does Zach Lowe have to say about this season from hell? Because he hasn't had a pod since October, he needs a chance to share all his Sixers takes. How about a return to the Ricky or a Spike and Mike appearance on the Zach Lowe Show? Yes, that is the official name.
I'm sure he'll talk about it.
What's that? He'll talk about it. Well, he's got a pod twice a week. And congratulations, Zach. Glad to see you working again with somebody you're comfortable with. Of course, Bill hired him at Grantland when Zach Lowe was working for Sports Illustrated. Is that who Zach was with before Grantland, SI? So congratulations, Zach. Glad that you're working again. We'd love to come on the pod, and you're always welcome. And non-basketball question. I like during the filter in when Spike mentions the recent movies he sees and asks CJ if he's seen them. Mike seemingly has no idea what you guys are talking about. We need to know more about your movie watching habits. Spike, do you still go to the theater? Mike, do you watch movies or are you strictly a TV guy these days? Finally, as a former employee of our beloved Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment, a brief request from my old boss's boss. Rig it. So there you go.
There you go.
The reason I'm always asking CJ about the movies is that CJ enjoys horror as I do, and Mike does not enjoy horror. So when I'm bringing up movies, they're for CJ.
Yeah,
Mike,
I watch a ton of movies. I watch usually 30 to 50 movies of that year. But
30 to 50.
Yeah, eventually once I get you get closer to screener time.
Oh yeah.
Over the holidays and stuff.
Yeah.
But never horror movies. Almost never the ones you're talking about.
Yeah.
Mike, what's the split of that watching older movies or movies that you get early access to?
I'm trying to watch 30 to 50, maybe closer to 50 once years go by. I keep a list of them. I've watched 55 movies that came out in 2014, for example.
So these are new movies.
But yeah, so new movies, yeah. That's usually when I'm sick and I'm watching 4 a day for 3 weeks or 2 weeks or something like that, or it's the holidays and stuff.
And I like movies better than TV shows because I get bored of TV shows really quick, and the movie I could just get in and out. And there's way more depressing and scary movies than there are deep TV shows, and that's what I like. Though my wife and I started watching Adolescence. Have you seen that?
I have not.
On Netflix. We've watched 2 episodes. It's good so far. It is so far it's Defending Jacob, but not shitty like Defending Jacob was. That show was shitty. I would not watch that show again. I'm sorry if you wrote on that show. Not you, Mike, but if somebody listening thought that show was shitty. Well,
Kyle Lowry played the other night.
He did. Kyle Lowry did play. The thing I watched after watching the Knicks game, completely in Justin Edwards, Alex Reese. You predicted the Alex Reese thing. I fucking love him.
Yeah.
They told that I don't think you told it. They're telling a story on the Knicks broadcast.
Yeah.
And because I get MSG where I am, and they were he came out of school and he couldn't play anywhere, so he was a bartender, and then he worked for a mover. Mm-hmm. And he was moving people and bartending, and then he got a job overseas. I love Alex Reese, love Justin Edwards. For sure not as in on Quentin Grimes as you are. And
that's such a funny, Justin Edwards had a bad game.
He did, but he got to the basket a couple of times really nicely. Didn't finish well. Mm-hmm. But I love him. I'm in on
you like
him.
your guys. That's fine.
Yeah.
I also like Justin Edwards. Still a long way to go. 6 turnovers, not great. Only 0 for 2 from 3, not great.
That's okay.
But Grimes, I thought Grimes had another good game. 26 points on 18 shots, got 10 free throws.
Just feels like he's doing his own thing out there.
But it was one time he missed a
lot
shot.
Of pick sixes and.
Well, what's wrong with pick sixes?
They're fine, but he's gambling all the time because he wants numbers. I don't begrudge him for it, but I can't figure out what the fuck he is.
He's a 2 guard that can play both ways. He can play a little bit on the ball, mostly off. He can finish well. He finishes with good strength. He can D-up guys, really strong frame. I think he's like one of the most like classic regular NBA players. I don't think it's on him that he's hard to figure out. I think it's just the situation because of their 30 games under 500. But,
that's right. Yeah, I don't blame him for the situation. I have trouble ascertaining what he is.
But he really is like, he's not a funky player. He's a normal.
Yes.
He's like a kind of a classic 2-guard.
That's when I mentioned Malik Monk. There's not, the funny thing about 2-guards in general is because Michael Jordan was such a big deal, I think we think that there's more actual normal 2-guards than there are.
Yeah, there haven't been in a while, but I think they're kind of coming back.
Are they? Straight up 2-guards?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Like guys that can handle a little bit, but a lot of like running off screens, hitting shots, and you want them to be able to defend like 1 through 3 a little bit and switch and be strong. And I think Grimes is, the guy that we've always wanted, like that we wanted Landry Shamet to be.
Right.
Like Grimes is
who
that
roasted
guy.
us, by the way, Landry Shamet.
Well, who didn't? Who didn't? Anunoby had 27.
Nice to see Shamet on the Knicks. Nice to see my guy PJ Tucker on the Knicks.
My guy DeLon Wright starting.
My guy Campaign on the Knicks. Our guy Campaign.
Yeah, man, I can't wait for the season to be over. We're so close.
Yep. We got like 5 games left.
6.
Yeah.
I saw. Remember the so the Blouses' first game was last night. Started 1-0.
Are you coaching again?
The team that I coach, that my wife Alyssa plays on. I coach basketball in Los Angeles. Coach Mike. Coach Mike. When she does this, do that. I ran a 1-2-1 zone. Coach my ass off. You asked me just so you could play the song, right?
No, you were saying it anyway. Okay. I mean, you were saying you were coaching it.
No, I just yeah.
Yeah.
No.
And it's the what is it called? The exposition for the audience.
Yeah, you need a little bit of exposition.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the season started last night. Started 1-0. We won the championship last year, which ended in December, I think. And Alyssa hit a floater, which I'm always imploring her to do. So she was excited about that. But before the game, I ran into the coach of the team that there was the controversy on the Sixers on the Ricky Reddit thread.
About what?
Remember there was like a little bit of a fight.
Oh yes.
Some chirping.
Yes.
And then I talked about it on the podcast, and then someone talked about it. The Reddit thread kind of went wild with a coach from that team who listens to the podcast.
Yep.
So I met that guy.
Okay.
His name is Tim. Nice guy. No hard feelings. Still listens to the show. Met him right in the lobby before the game.
Really? And what was that conversation like?
It was chill. He wasn't the coach when that happened. Mm-hmm. And now he is. And so he kind of said that there was some bad blood that was misplaced because the team had thought that a player on my team had injured them before, but it was a different team that had caused a girl's arm to break, and that was not what happened. That was not us. So yeah, hey, look, there's chirping in a basketball game. It's
just
all
good.
Look, we're all adults. We're all playing hard. Not everyone is coaching as hard as I am. But, I'm happy to get the win. Start off 1-0. Me and the Phils.
If you need to break another arm, you'll break another arm.
I'll do it. I'll do whatever I have to do.
One funny thing. Curious what I should do here. So I take a walk. I go to work. I do show prep. Then I take about a 25-minute walk in the city of Philadelphia before I go back to work. The last 7 times I've taken a walk, I passed this one guy, Ricky guy. He said hello.
You passed him 7 times?
No. I'm saying I passed him 1 time. Okay. But like over the last 7 times, we've passed each other and nodded and said hello probably 4 or 5 of the time.
Unbelievable. Having the same walk schedule.
Yeah. Do I?
In Philly.
Yeah. Can I keep walking the same place? Is it okay? Just keep saying hello to the guy?
Stop walking that direction.
Okay. He seems like a nice guy. I'm not saying,
fine.
Yes.
But do you really want to get into I'm doing this. We're doing this again. Yep.
Right.
Still me, regular.
Give him a fist pump today. A
fist bump.
Fist bump, not pump.
Okay.
I wasn't like this.
That would have been pretty funny.
Yes. All right. Well, get your lottery party tickets, and I will talk to you Sunday from the kennel.
Get your lottery party tickets. I'm looking at flights.
From the kennel.
Figuring it out.
There you go.
Kennel Saturday.
Kennel Sunday.
Kennel Sunday.
I go there Saturday. By the time you see me, I will have been at the kennel for 22 hours.
Okay, let's see if you pick up any dog-like traits.
Yeah. I'm just drinking from the water bowl.
Yeah, scratching yourself with your foot. That'd be cool.
Scratching my ear with my foot. Mm-hmm. All right. We will talk to you Sunday. Are you down with TTP?
Yeah, you know, like face. Come on.